Goes the family, or goes it? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having a great and exceptional day. All right, there we go. Okay, so I said I was going to do this, but I was like, you know what the hell, but I'll do it. So there's a controversial statement, and it's interesting, and I really want to get the ladies' opinions on this and the fellas' opinions on it as well. I know most that talk about money moves and things of that nature, but everything's not about money. A lot of times things are about obviously the relationship that you have and holding your life and whatnot, and you should take advantage of those things, etc. So, anyways, I used the background today because it reminds me when had a was down with my buddy, was celebrating him getting married. It's kind of like a mini bachelor party down in Houston and whatnot because he wasn't trying to go all crazy and whatnot. He just got married at him and his wife's local church, and did a bachelor party at the spot that him and some of his buddies go to happy hour and all that good stuff. Where they watch the game at. It comes quote unquote a nightclub at night and whatnot. If you ever it's Cheyenne's, it's you ever in Houston, Texas, and you want to be around a more mature crowd, you like to have some good fun and listen to some 80s and 90s music, I definitely recommend them. Great time every time I go down there. A matter of fact, the person you see dancing behind me actually used to be a former backup dancer for MC Hammer, so good times. But anyways, I digress. So today is controversial, and I'm not endorsing this whatsoever. So don't get me this, Larry. What do you don't know? I'm going to talk. There's a statement that was put out by a very popular podcaster known as Mr. Kevin Samuels. He's part of the hashtag Red Pill Market, Manosphere, whatever they want to call themselves. That's what it is, and I'm not mad at it. All right, um, because it does, like I said, it doesn't affect my life. But anyways, the red pill, they call themselves red pill, blue pill, and it's they, talk about manhood and the manosphere and things of that nature. And is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not, because it's a free country, and hey, you're allowed to. Apparently it's a big, fast growing movement. I'm not a part of it, so it's just a lot of guys that they get together and they talk and they give their um, they talk about different topics from should men dress to impress women, should women do this, should men do that, da, 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 da. So it's a lot of things. If you're interested, check out Kevin Samuels, check out the Red Pill atmosphere, and go from there. So it is what it is. Like I said, only thing I like to argue over is how I can increase my income and how I can increase my health and how I can increase assets and things of that nature and be a better person. Outside of that, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing about Kevin Samuels, what he says or who he is. He's a grown man. He does what he does. All right. But anyways, he said this, and I don't agree with it, but I'm going to say it anyways. Kevin Samuels said, ladies, understand something. When a man asks you out on a date, he's asking to have sex. If you don't want to have sex with him, don't go on a date with him. Now, I disagree with that because I've been on many dates and, obviously that didn't happen. Not trying to get too personal. But not every guy is just a guy just looking to, especially when you get older. To me, there's supposed to be some sort of level of maturity that comes to your life, crazy concept. You should want to be able to actually get to know people, especially nowadays. The whole this nonsense of jumping in bed with people for the sake of just jumping in bed, and we've gone through a pandemic. Some people don't care, and that's the business. Me personally, not gonna happen. But I think the more reasonable guys, and I wish I had my brother from another mother on here, Adrian Gonzalez, talking about this. But the reasonable, quote unquote, nice guys, they say we finished last. Um, a lot of us actually were like, hey, we would like to be in a position to where, hey, let's have a conversation, let's go from there, let's see where this thing may go. Now, obviously, and I chose this background because me and my buddy was laughing at half the people in there because these are people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, even some people in their 60s, and they're walking around like they're in their 20s and whatnot, trying to holler and talk to people and whatnot, trying to, get people to go home with them or things of that nature. And then you just got a lot of people, I can tell there's a lot of regulars in there, like the guy dancing in the background. There's a lot of regulars in there. People just dance, have drinks, smoke cigarettes, smoke cigars. They do what they do. You know what I mean? They do adult things. But this is a lot of people, a good chunk, Do I think the majority of men want to do that on the first date? I'm gonna go with about 65 to 70%. I'm gonna go with the yes. Most of the majority of men do want to just jump into bed with you immediately on the first date. But then there's a tier of men out there that don't want to do that and whatnot. And then there's a tier of men that are like, hey, let's take it slow. Let's get to know each other. I want to actually have something more meaningful. There actually is a movement of men that out there, not just women, that are actually they practice celibacy. Because one of the things is when you're not, especially because here's the one thing too, and this is the real reason why I'm talking about this statement. But I usually don't get into this stuff. But I will say this: because a lot of men who practice celibacy, they're actually able to focus more. They're actually able to be better boyfriends, be better husbands, be better parents and whatnot, because they're not focused on just having sexual relations with people and whatnot. They're not constantly hopping into females' inboxes and things of that nature. You know, it's like this level of maturity. You know, some people can appreciate that. Some people can't appreciate that. It is what it is. But so do I think that this is a guarantee? No. As far as, you know, hey, oh, okay, I got a date with you, so now it's automatic. I'm going to get it. No, I don't think that's most men. I mean, I don't. That's not my mindset. I don't agree with that. But there's a good population. Most men do agree with that notion, and that's their prerogative. Because the thing is, as long as you're not trying to do anything crazy or illegal, if you got that mindset, the crazy thing is just be open and honest with who you are and what you're about. That's just what it is. Because to me, especially the older you get, if you're just playing mind games, it's like, why? You know, we're grown folks here. Let's not play grown folks games. Let's be grown so we can handle business, because life is too short to be going back and forth like you're in high school, like in your early 20s and whatnot. But some people beg to differ. So let me know what you think in the comments. Question is, men, do you think you should get it on the first date? First date. Women, do you think men should expect to get it on the first date and whatnot? Because obviously it's your choice to say, well, no, that's not going to happen. Or you could say, yes, it is going to happen and whatnot. This usually isn't my forte in regards to content, but I see this is a controversial topic that a lot of people are talking about. And I find it to be very interesting. I've already given my position on it a couple of times. So, like I said, I disagree with the statement, but I'm just one person. Let me know what you think in the comment section, because interesting times we're living in. That's all I can say. But I think at the end of the day, the more honest you can be with a person, the better, because at least you can say, hey, I know where he or she is coming from, and go from there. It's like I said, that's why one thing I loved about growing up is when I went to DC and Maryland and whatnot, they felt like there was much more real people on that side of the Potomac River than it was on the Northern Virginia side and whatnot. Growing up in the DMV area, when I went to New York and Connecticut and whatnot, growing up as a child, people, you know, New Yorkers are blunt and they straight up. I love that. People Northeast, Connecticut, Boston, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Baltimore, DC, Prince George's County, straight up. I love people like that. I do not like people that like to beat around the bush. So the fact that with the internet and with the social media era, people are being more blunt, whether they got a real account on social media, whether they got a fake account on social media, that's another thing. But more and more people are being blunt with who they are and what they're about. And my mindset is this: the more honest you are, without being disrespectful, obviously, the better the world is going to be. Now, a lot of people can't appreciate honesty because they're like, well, you're being a jerk and whatnot. Because sometimes the delivery sounds like you can be a jerk. Hey, I'm accused of this as well. But better honest than sorry. Better to be honest than to be fake. Because a lot of people appreciate a lot of people want to hear the nonsense. They want to hear the BS. You know, it makes them feel good and tingly inside, and then it basically reinforces their what they believe in and their agenda and their principles, but it's under false pretenses and whatnot. And you got to ask yourself a question: do you want to have friendships and relationships with people based on false pretenses? I can't put that. I know I don't. I never will. But I can't answer that question for you. Only you can, and whatnot. Kevin Samuels can't answer that question for you. Only you can. So if you want to live in a fairy tale, go for it. But life is not all roses. Most people know this. Life is not a fairy tale. Most people know this. It's ups and downs, the smiles and cries, as Ethan Hawke said on the movie Training Day. That's what it is. You got your good days, you got your bad days and whatnot. But like I said, when you keep it real and honest and straight to the point, you're my kind of people, regardless of where you come from in this world. I'll leave it at that. All right. So On that note, family, do the great three free things: like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching this on Instagram, please subscribe to my um, YouTube page, Larry's Anything Goes LLC. Once again, Larry's Anything Goes LLC. Um, if you're on Facebook, same thing. You can find me all over. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on, which I'm not as active on. You can find me on Twitter, all that good stuff. I'm all over social media, all that good stuff. All right. So as I always say, family, make money moves, or you're gonna live broke like a fool. And another thing, be honest with yourself. Be honest with those around you. Be honest with those you like. Be honest with those you love and whatnot. Because honesty is the best medicine. But a lot of people love to live under false pretenses, and they whatever. It's your life. Do what you do. All right. So take care.